Step number 1 in creating a frequency distribution is to decide on the number of classes. So when I look at my data, I see that I have 15 pieces of data. So I'm going to start at 2 to the power of 4. That would give me 16, which means that k is equal to 4 will work for the number of classes. So I'm going to have 4 classes based on my data. Now in step number 2, to determine the class interval, is the class interval I is greater than or equal to the highest minus the lowest divided by k. And my highest value, if I look up here in my data, is 48, and my lowest value is 19. So I'm going to subtract those and divide by 4 for my number of classes, which gives me a value of 7.25, which means I'm going to start at a class interval of 8. In step number 3, we're going to set the individual class limits. So I know that I have 4 classes. My class width is going to start at 8. My highest value is 48 and my lowest is 19. So I'm going to start at 16, which is a multiple of the class interval of 8. So I'm going to do 16 up to 24, 24 up to 32, 32 up to 40, and 40 up to 48. Now I have an issue because my 48 here does not include my highest value. That would have to be in the next class. So I'm going to have to scrap this plan for my class limits, and I'm going to have to go ahead and start at a new value. I'm just randomly going to choose 17. You can choose whatever value you want as long as it accommodates your data. So 17 up to 25, 25 up to 33, 33 up to 41, and 41 up to 49. So my highest value is accommodated, my lowest value is accommodated, so I'm going to go with those class limits. The next step in creating a frequency distribution is to go ahead and tally the data into the classes. And as I do this, if I take each individual piece of data and count where it's at, I'm going to scratch it off here on my data so that I can keep track of what I have selected and what I have not. 37 goes here, 41 goes here, 19 goes here, 32 is here, 26 is here, 31 is here, 26 is here, 21 is here, 32 is here, 25 is here, 31 is here, and 43 goes here. So now I know that I've processed all of my pieces of data because I have crossed them out. My final step in the creation of my frequency distribution is to go ahead and tally up or to add the tallies to make sure that I have the original amount of data. So count the number of data in each class. So I have 2, 9, 1, and 3. And if I add those up, those will give us 15. And that was the original pieces of data that I have. Now my frequency distribution, I want to make sure that it's a nice, easy to read chart. So I'm going to make sure that I have labels on my chart. I'm going to make sure that it is readable, and this is what a organized frequency distribution would look like.